Hello, 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 my gorgeous girls. How is everyone doing on this best day ever? When you're ever in question about what day it is, like, because I know, life is so busy and I feel like every day kind of rolls into the next day. Sometimes you forget what day it is. It's totally normal. Like, I have to actually, sometimes I'll post something and I'll be like, Happy Monday. And I'll look at my calendar and be like, wait, it's Monday, right? Hey, Jenny. Oh, that workout was killer. I love what Megan posted. She's like, I call that Tabata Tada. Yeah, that was killer. We got lots of fun stuff coming in September. Lots of Tabata coming up. Lots of Tadas. Lots of Tadas. So what I was saying is that if you're ever in question what day it is, because I know I'm always in question. Like, what day is it? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Like, literally, this happens all the time. I'll post something, Happy Monday, and I'm like, oh wait, is it Monday? Happy Unplugged Day, and I'm like, oh shoot, is it Sunday? You understand what I'm saying? So if you're ever wanting to know what day it is, like, we don't care if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, that's pretty apparent here. All we care about is that every day is the best day ever. So I pop into our page and I am just like, I know what day it is. The best day ever. Everyone's rocking their sweatshirts and sporting it, and I love it. Who cares about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Who cares? Like, let's just face the fact that, like, let's get over it. Like, we're never gonna know what day it is, right? Because life is so crazy. It's like, who cares? Get over it. Like, get over it, Gina. Like, Monday's gonna roll into Tuesday, and Tuesday's gonna feel like a Monday, and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Get over the fact that just every day is the best day over. And if some of you are trying to kind of like understand where this is going, or like how is every day the best day ever? Some of you are kind of like, I don't know, like, I had one of those days, Gina. How are you saying that today's the best day ever? Soon you're just going to get over it and realize that it just is. Okay. So our mantra this week is friggin' just like our Tabata workout today. It's like, ta-da! It has been a game changer in my world. And I know it's been a game changer in your world, because once you just get over it, I feel like this huge weight is lifted off of you, right? Like, we're living this life with like this weight on our shoulders. Like, oh, I'm so tired. If I just like can finally get 8 hours of sleep, I'm gonna not be so tired. Or, oh my gosh, like, I'm so, God, I'm not a morning person. Every time the alarm goes off, like, when is this day ever gonna come? Or like, oh my gosh, whatever it is. Like, we're just like waiting for these. When am I ever gonna stop having cravings? Like, Gina, you keep telling me that the cravings are gonna fade, like, but they're like, get over it. Once you get over it, all of a sudden, the weight is lifted. And it's like, wow, that feels good. Get over the fact, because I think that we are just like, I thought about this and I was like, what if we're it's like trying to expect, I said this in the mantra, like, if I'm looking at the sky right now and I'm like, I really want the sky to be purple, like, but we're living in this world that, like, we think things are going to change, but they're not, but we're focusing on them changing. Like, we're focusing on the fact that we just are not a morning person. We're seeing Scotty jump out of bed and Marie jump out of bed, and we're like, when am I going to be like that? Get over it. They're not like that. They are like snoozing and they're like, really? But then, the day after day after day grit gets them out of bed, but it's not like they're like, this is freaking easy. Like, it's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. And if you can stop like expecting these things that are never going to be, all of a sudden, like, this weight lifts and you're like, okay, it just is. Now I have to figure out how to make what is easier, or how do I, keep showing up and faking it till I make it. Like, it's just, once you just get over it in so many different areas of your life, it's easy. And if we remove that expectation, suddenly then things can start to flow. But if we're trying to like make something that's never going to happen, we're just fighting the resistance. Like, it's just every day we're just fighting. We're like, put on the gloves, we're fighting. Take off the gloves. Just get over it, okay? Because it wasn't easy for me to get up. It wasn't easy for me to get up yesterday. It wasn't easy for me to get up 10 years ago. And I'm like, okay, don't you think like when you don't have kids, it's supposed to be easy to get up? Now you have kids and you're like, oh, it's because I have kids. So once my kids get out of the house, and mothers out there who don't have kids at home, are you suddenly like getting more sleep and feeling more energized? Yeah, no, right? It doesn't happen. But we have these expectations that we put on ourselves, so we just need to get the over it. And then suddenly all of a sudden it's like, oh, feels better. I don't have to be a morning person. It's just always going to be hard, but I have to. Yeah, we don't have to get up, but it is nice to get up. But at the end of the day, once we kind of remove that, it's amazing. And so I was talking to my buddy Terry today at the pool. You know that guy Terry that I was telling you, like, we don't have to do this, we get to do this, that whole story, and how he had this surgery in his spine. Poor guy, like, is in so much pain. But so he literally has showed up every single day since the mantra started. Like, since I saw him like 3 weeks ago, he showed up every single day since then. Monday through Friday, he shows up, and I'm taking attendance. You know, he's like, oh, you're taking attendance. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that's tardy here, but listen, I can be tardy, but if I'm absent, we got a problem. Terry showed up every single day. And so today I was asking him, how are you feeling, Terry? And he's like, because you would think it would get easier, right? Because he's showing up every day. And he's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm in pain every single day. And he's like, but you know, I finally got to a point where I just said, it is what it is. And I said, in other words, get over it. And I shared with him our mantra. Oh, I was doing it gently because I didn't want to be like, get over it, Terry. But I was like, since he said, you know, it is what it is, I shared with him our mantra for this week. Like, if you have an injury and there's nothing you can do about it, you can either sit there every single day and be frustrated and mad and just like wait for the day that it's going to get easy to face this injury that you have, or you can just say, it is what it is, get over it. And he's surrendered to that, and he's like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I had no choice. And over time, he said it's gotten easier to just get over it because, you know, there is that little buffer time period. But once he did, he's like, yeah, this is the new life, and I just had to kind of face it. And so that was really cool. Like, in every area, if we can just, you know, get over it, it helps us to kind of take that next big step. All right, so that's been a great mantra for me this week. All week I've been like, get over it, Gina, get over it, get over it. And it's really helped me. Did anyone else, like, did that resonate with anyone else? Dawn, yay, you can watch me today because you're traveling. Travel safe, girlfriend. I saw you rocking your uniform in the airport, looking gorgeous. Gina, hi Gina, you're funny. So Gina, I loved your post with your kiddos. So cute. They all shared what they were grateful for. It was so cute. All of her little kids at daycare were like, I'm grateful for, and all of them said Gina and workouts. We are changing people we're changing little people. That's what came up when I saw that video, Gina, was like, look at the impact we're having on our littles. To wake up every day and be grateful and to know that it's the best day ever. Amazing. We're changing lives, people. Hi, Beth. Jenny, amen, sister. Resistance creates perseverance, which creates character maturity. That's what's happening right here. I love it. Okay, so we've got some good stuff today. What do I need to talk about before we got the mantra done? Kids are in school, been like a schedule shift right now, so it's the best day ever. I get to like have this live without in the back of my head thinking, okay, when are they going to come in? What noise are they going to make? When are they going to slam the door? Like, what's happening? Now I just get to be with you, and it's just great. So yeah, we've got a great recipe to share, and this one's going to be a game changer for those that are back to busy life, whether you're back to work, whether your kids are home now. This is a good one. I'm excited about this one. And our September workouts are going to be posting soon. I can't believe it's already September. We're rocking our squat challenge through the middle of September, the 22nd to be exact. And we've got some awesome workouts that are incorporated. And also we have an umbrella theme that's going to hit you real soon of what September's all about. Some of you may remember from last year. So we'll talk about that in a couple days. I might pop on for a live or share a little bit more about that information, but it's going to be a magical month. And yeah, all right, so let's dig into some questions. There were only 2, and then we'll share the recipe. All right, so the first question I haven't memorized. Christine had asked about the air fryer, and she just got one. So yay, Christine. I have 3 pieces of equipment right now on my counter. I have a crock pot, and I have an air fryer, and now I have my blender back on the counter because I'm doing my one a day. Amazing. I'm obsessed with green drinks still. And so, yeah, those are the 3 pieces of equipment that I have on my counter that are forever there. Thank gosh we extended our counter space because those sit right here. The air fryer has definitely been one of my favorites. I used to have this thing called a New Wave oven. I had it for years. I went through them like every 6 months. I had to get a new one because I was going through it so quickly during my competition days. And it's very similar to the air fryer where it's convection. So the heat is circulating rather than just like top heat or bottom heat. It's circulating like a convection oven. And so it makes things cook quickly. You don't need as much oil. So great. I'm glad that you got one, Christine, because it's going to change your game. You don't need to use oil in an air fryer, but it just depends on, again, do you want things slightly crispy or do you want things to be not so crispy? I've thrown green beans in there with nothing, and they kind of like, they're crispy, but they're kind of airish, hence air fryer. But if you do a little light glaze or like spray of oil, which I'll talk about in a second, then it's not, then they come out more crispy. So when I make my vegetables, I toss them in the oven. I just do a spray, and then I throw my seasonings on top, and they come out real crispy, real yummy. Oh, so good. And so it's kind of the same thing in the air fryer. Rather than heating up the house and throwing them in the oven, I basically just mimic it. So I throw them in the air fryer, whether it's veggies or whatever. I don't spray protein, but when it comes to veggies, I might just spray a light spray. And I use pure coconut oil or avocado oil. So her question was, do we count that as a fat or, whatever? We're talking like shh. Okay, we're not talking like pour. We're talking like a quick spray, not a big deal. It's just going to give it that little bit of crispness without saturating it with oil and adding all those extras. So I'm not worried about the tiny spray. Fine. But just don't get cray, okay? And yeah, so you can do them both ways. Try it with oil, without oil. And I also have started to, this recipe that I'm gonna do today, I actually did something different where I use foil, which has been helpful, because I will tell you one thing about an air fryer. Don't get lazy on the cleanup, okay? I know, like, you cook, you clean. You cook, you clean. You cannot let the air fryer sit for too long, or it's going to be really hard to get the crap out of the bottom. And I kind of learned the hard way, because I'm really good about start, finish, cook, clean. I clean as I go. But I'm not going to lie, the air fryer I've let sit a couple times, and now it's not sparkly clean like I like it. So make sure with the air fryer that you clean it that night, that you get into that habit. Okay, don't let it sit for too long. Otherwise, it's not going to be pretty. It's still usable and all that, but it's just not going to be as sparse and clean. Another thing that I'm going to start doing epic, I haven't even heard of this idea, is lining it with foil. Hello, it's what I do with all of my cookie sheets, and whenever I use the oven, line it with foil, then use easier cleanup, and it's just quick, right? You don't have to worry about scrub. So I'm going to start lining my air fryer with foil. Hello, like where was I for that one? So that's going to be another great little tip there. When it comes to oils, it depends on if you want a coconut flavor, use coconut oil. Perfectly Gene approved. Avocado oil, olive oil. The thing is with avocado oil and with coconut oil is it has a high smoke point, which means you can heat it to high temperatures without it becoming rancid. And when things become rancid, then that's when inflammation increases and it's toxic in your body. So you want to make sure that you're using oils that have a higher smoke point. Olive oil has a decent smoke point, but it's not super high like avocado or coconut oil. So that's why olive oil is fine, because your air fryer is not going to get too crazy hot. But that's why olive oil tends to be good for colder dishes. Just like colder dishes, salads, things like that. My go-to is avocado oil. It's mild. So if you just want something that's mild in flavor, avocado oil is great. The coconut oil is really high smoke point. Avocado is actually higher, believe it or not. But it does taste like coconut, right? So if you like coconut flavor, it's going to give you that coconut flavor. So maybe you do coconut, like when you want something to be a little sweeter, like you're doing coconut shrimp. Or if you're doing like coconut jicama or whatever it is, then you might want to use coconut spray. But it does change the flavor with coconut, where this is more mild. Okay? You want to get away from using these other oils like canola oil, rapeseed oil. You don't really see that often. Soybean oil, all those other oils. And here's the reason why. Remember, we talked about balance, right? So back in the day, balance. It used to be like 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3 and omega-6s. And omega-6s and 3s are all good. But they're not good when they get out of balance. When the omega-6s go out of balance and the omega-3s, which is why we want you to take those omega-3s, when the omega-3s are lower than the omega-6s, that's when there is inflammation in the body, okay? So it used to be like 1-to-1, that perfect ratio of one of omega-3 and omega-6. Now with all the processed food and all the canola oils and all the cotton soy oils and all that stuff going on, because it's cheaper and it's over processed, guess what? The ratio is shifted. So now those omega-6s, all processed food has all these cheap oils, is like here, and our 3s are down here. So we need to bring it back into balance by taking our 3s, being mindful to not have the canola oils, and we want to reduce that inflammation. So get rid of those. I used to use Pam. I'm not going to lie. I used to use Pam all the time, right? That's what we did. Pam, even canola oil. Costco used to have a big thing of canola oil. I used to get that all the time. Being mindful about the oils, Costco has come a long way. Now they have these avocado in large spray cans. So avocado, now there's like no excuse. There's a canola, there's an avocado oil. Get the avocado oil, all right? Okay, yeah, it's crazy how food production has changed over the years, and we're wondering why we feel the way we feel. It's our processed foods, people. It's our processed foods that's the problem. Maybe it's not the hormones. Maybe it's not the lactose. Maybe it's the quality of the food that we're eating. We just need to get over the fact that it's the quality of the food we're eating. Go in your pantry after this live. Go grab like 5, 4, even 3. Okay, let's just do 3. Grab 3 packaged foods that you think are good, right? Because they say like organic and healthy and blah, 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 blah. Look at the ingredients and tell me you don't see soybean, canola oil, all that stuff in there. They are just saturating our foods with crap oils, which is causing inflammation, which is causing our bodies to respond like crazy. And we're wondering why disease is here. And we're wondering why we're not healthy. It's not that hard, people. It's all in the quality of our food. It's all in the quality of our food. So one tip of the day, ditch your canola oils, ditch your Pams, switch over to avocado and coconut oils, okay? One thing about coconut oil, last thing on this, gosh, I didn't realize I was gonna go on a tangent, but it's good stuff. See, it's amazing when your kids aren't home and you're not distracted, how your brain, you can think. It's kind of amazing. Coconut oil. So one thing with coconut oil is you want to make sure that it's not the refined coconut oil. So, a lot of times we're so quick to get cheap, right? We're so quick to be like, which is the cheaper one? That's also kind of the problem. Go for quality. Yeah, you're going to spend a couple extra dollars on the non-refined, but guess what? It's going to go a long way. You're going to save a lot of money on your health care. So spend the extra $2 and get not the unrefined, but get the extra virgin coconut oil, okay? Refined means it's refined. It means it's like stripped away of all its nutrients. But yet I'm having coconut oil. What kind of coconut oil are you having? What is the quality of that oil, all right? So make sure it's not refined. So I'm giving you a lot of assignments. Go check out 3 of your processed foods and just read the label and see what kind of oils are used, okay? Number 2, switch over to avocado oil, ditch your canolas. And number 3, check your coconut oil. Is it the refined or is it the unrefined? Okay, because you want to make sure it's the unrefined. You don't want them to refine it and like strip it. Okay, all right. So that's good stuff. All right. Yeah, Tanya's finally catching a live. Yay, yay, yay. The other question that came up today was Tanya, I think you may have asked the question. Sorry, I don't know who asked it, but it was about the 7-day body blast. And great question. When you jump on a plan like the 7-day body blast, or let's say you're jumping on a breakthrough, whatever it is, do you have to do the workouts combined with the diet? And the answer is you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. So yes, those two go together, because in the 7-day body blast, I do have those workouts where I'm pushing you to that next level. So to get those next level results, I have cultivated those workouts to go hand in hand. But the diet is 90% of it, right? So if you're just following the diet and you're loving the vibe of what we're doing right now with these Tabatas, a GFIT workout is going to give you a killer workout, all right? So what I would say is don't focus so much on you have to do the 7-day with the 7-day. Just make sure that you do the 7-day to the T and you combine our workouts and you don't skip a beat there, okay? All right, great job. Oh, good, Tanya. So that answers your question. So if you're having fun with the workouts we're doing and sometimes it's nice to do what everyone else is doing, stick with the workouts and just follow that diet perfectly. Great question there. I love that. Okay, so recipe of the day. I'm excited for this one. I get so excited about, why do I tell you guys? You guys know that. I'm always like, does anyone else get excited about food? But I really do. It's like the small things, right? So I've had these pork chops in the freezer for a while now. I love pork. It's the other white meat. So we're talking like pork chops, pork loin. They're leaner, right? If you actually look at a pork chop, it's lean. Like there's a little bit of fat that's around the outside, but the inside, it looks like chicken, okay? So pork loin, pork chops, if you haven't had them, maybe you didn't realize they are gene approved in that lean protein area. And so I've had these pork chops in my freezer for some time, and I don't know, sometimes you just don't grab them because it's not your everyday. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make these. And so I had my crock pot out. It was Monday. No, it was Tuesday. See, I don't even know what day it is. It was Tuesday. My kids went to school, and I threw those pork chops in the chops without the bone, like not the bone end. I threw them in the crock pot, and I threw in my pickles sauce or juice because I had some leftover juice from Bob's Pickles. And I threw it in there, and I just was like, the pickle is one of my favorite recipes. It's so easy, and it's great with chicken. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try this with these pork chops. So I wasn't sure how the flavor was going to come out, and I just had no idea what was going to happen when I made these pork chops. Let me tell you, my friends, game changer to bust out your crock pot. And now this, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and dinner was done for the day. Done. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. As we shift our schedule and have less time, we need to now shift our cooking, okay? So let me go grab the pork chop. I already did it. I threw the pickle juice in there. But for today, I actually did a little change up. I had this kimchi or this sauerkraut. So it's just a tiny little change up. You can do the pickle. That came out fantastic. Or I had this sauerkraut, this yummy cabbage sauerkraut. Really, really good probiotics, good quality for the guts, okay? So I threw this in there, and I threw the cabbage. So I did the juice of the sauerkraut, and then I did the cabbage. So 2 options here. You can do the pickle, you can do the sauerkraut, right? Okay, and so let me get this pork chop out. Are you ready for it? You're gonna love this. Check this out. So I'm just over here grabbing it out of my crock pot. Give me 1 second here, ladies. You can talk amongst yourself for just a quickie. Let me grab it. Okay. All right. So I had no idea. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. So I have the sauerkraut that's on top, right? So I'm going to remove the sauerkraut to the sides. Okay. Here we go. Now, what I didn't realize was, when you make a pork chop, one thing about pork chops, and this is why we don't have them all the time, because my husband doesn't care for them. Doesn't mean I can't make them for myself, but just to make my life easier, because they're tough. Pork chops can be kind of tough. And so I put this in there, and I'm like, these are for me. I don't care. I love pork chops. But check this out. The edges, hopefully you can see this, the fat that goes along the edges, it just so evenly, like I'm doing this with one hand, it just falls off the chop, right? So here's the fat that's on the outer side. Look at this. I wish you could see this. I'm going to show you in the screen. This is just the fat right here. So usually you just cut it off with a knife, right? But you kind of have to cut. This just like, I'm doing this with one hand and a fork. It just falls off the outside. So I'm going to remove this. Okay, so this is tiny. Look at how little fat is on a pork chop, right? Okay, so here we go. So there's the fat. That's done. We got all the fat off the sides, but when I took this out, I was like, oh my gosh, this was so easy to remove the fat. Okay, so there's that. Now I am going to get creative, Gina, get creative. Here we go. I'll use this so you can see. Okay. Here we go. All right, so now check this out, ladies. This pork, I get so excited about the craziest things. It just melts off of the meat. Like you barely have to do anything, and you get this delicious pork. There's a little bit more fat right there. But it just falls off the bone. Look at this. You see this? It's like carne asada, right? Kind of like, I just could not believe how moist it came out. Look at this. Just so delicious. I was pretty impressed. I've never done a pork chop like this in the crock pot, and I was impressed. Anything that's going to make our life easy, and I was just so impressed by the flavor. Quickly take off this little bit of fat right here, and it just literally falls off. Look at that. You got yourself like looks like shredded chicken, but it's a shredded little pork chop. So I had no idea that was going to happen. So I was really excited about that. Okay, so now for the rest of our recipe. I went to the farmer's market yesterday, and I got myself some peppers. I got both poblano peppers or pasilla peppers, excuse me. And these are a little spicier than poblano. And then I got some regular peppers. So what I did was you got 2 options here. On a no carb day, I've got my rice, my faux rice. This is a no carb day. So we're taking the faux rice. And I've got this konjac noodles. They come in noodles and also rice, okay? So I'm taking my rice. Then I also took a little bit of this extra kimchi. You can add whatever it is you want to add, but since I had the kimchi from this recipe, you can add whatever seasonings it is that you want, whatever it is. Okay, there's recipe 1. Recipe 2, I'm kind of going to do the same thing, but now look how easy this is. We've got our quinoa brown rice mix, right? So on a carb day, we've got our pork chop. Now we've got our carb here. So I'm going to mix this over in this other bowl. So here's how you can make this either a fat or a carb day. All right, so now we've got our serving of real rice, and I'm gonna throw in some kimchi. And again, you can add whatever seasonings it is that you want right there. Okay, so now I've got my mix. And then what I did was I put this mix into the pepper. So we're doing stuffed peppers. You know, it's funny how like when I share these recipes, and then I'm gonna throw in the pork right in there. You forget. Like, I know that every one of you has probably done a stuffed pepper, but when's the last time you did a stuffed pepper, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about stuffed peppers. And let me tell you, these are great in the air fryer or the crock pot. So we're going to repeat the crock pot here in a second just to soften up the pepper. So we do the pork separately. You don't want to put raw pork in the pepper. So there you go. You know, you measure it out. Okay, we're just eyeing it right now. So don't be like, well, how much? You do your 4 ounces. You set that aside, and however much fits into a pepper. You could do 2 peppers, you could do 3 peppers. How big is your pepper? I don't know. So those are the questions that always come up. It's like, I don't know, how big is your pepper? Okay, so there you go. So we've got that. Now I did this 2 ways, okay? So I did one way where I did it in foil. Because back to the conversation I was just having about how things get messy. I've never done this before. I've always just thrown the pepper in the crock pot or in the air fryer. But I was like, magic, I'm gonna roll this puppy up and I'm gonna cook it like this, okay? So I just threw that back in the air fryer. And of course, I already have 2 that are done. So I'm gonna show you what they look like once they're done. And so this one I did without oil, okay? So I just threw this one in there without oil to kind of show you the differences here. And this one came out fantastic. Okay, so I stuffed it. Here's the pepper. This one, this one I put in outside of the foil, and I did put a little spray of oil, okay? This next one I did, just like I showed you, in the foil. So now I have no cleanup, and I popped open at the very end of the cooking just to give it a little bit more of a charred look to it. So this one's not as charred, but it definitely is soft, and it didn't have any of the mess. So I would recommend the foil. Out of these 2 options, the foil, it's really not a huge difference, and there's a whole lot mess with the foil. So now I'm going to take it out so I can show you what these look like. Oh yeah, baby. These are good. And then what's really great is that the little bit of pork kind of crisps a little bit. So you get a really like yummy crispiness. But when you add it with the foil, then it keeps all that moisture in. So I did notice that as well. So here we go. Our delicious stuffed pepper recipes. This not look so good. And then remember, if it's a carb day, then you just add your mix with the real rice and not the fake rice. You could also use cauliflower rice. You don't need to use this konjac rice if you don't have it. I actually ran out of it last night. I was going to use cauliflower, but I ate it all. So I did the konjac rice. So if you're doing the real rice on a carb day, then you've got the carb option. Stuff those peppers, the pasilla, or the what did I say these are? The pasilla or the serrano peppers, whatever you want to use, or the bell pepper, which we have right here, which is going to go in here for dinner. So there you go. Pop it right in there. And I know there's a lot of settings on the air fryer. I literally have just been using the one setting. I just press start. I press start, I press air fry, and there you go. I just air fry, okay? Because I know there's a whole lot of settings. I really haven't messed with too many of the settings. Every time I just throw it on air fry, and it works like a charm. So there we have it, my friends. Delicious, delicious. Give this a try. I was really impressed. Super simple, but I'm telling you, I can't stop talking about this pork. It was so good. And my husband, who doesn't usually like pork because it's so dry, loved it. So try it with either the sauerkraut, or everyone has pickles, pickle juice, and let me know what you think. All right, ladies, I never met a pig I didn't like. That's a good one. Did you know, fun fact, and then I'll hop off. Fun fact, I was a vegetarian for about 6 months when I was like maybe 13 or something, because I wanted a pig so bad, and I still want a pig to this day, like a potbelly pig. I did all the research. Like I called the city, can I have a pig? Like I was so wanting a pig that I stopped eating meat for 6 months or so. I eventually started eating meat again, but I still want a pig. In my future, you will see an oinker. Not anytime soon, but definitely on my wish list. All right, ladies. I grew up in Iowa. Nice. I love it. Land. Nice. All right, ladies. Have an incredible day. Let's finish this month strong. September, it's coming for us, and it's going to be the best month ever because I'm going to give you a hint. We're putting something away. We're putting something away. Think about it. All right, ladies. Have a great day, and I can't wait to connect with you all real soon. Mwah.